Let's get started with our first news. Dustin Poirier has opened up about his retirement, revealing the emotional toll it's taken on him. After UFC Rio last night, Dustin took to X to share a heartfelt message that instantly caught the attention of MMA fans around the world. He began by giving his thoughts on the current state of the lightweight and featherweight divisions, saying, "Charles versus Max for the BMF title is a great fight to make." That comment alone sparked a wave of responses from fans eager to hear more from the former interim lightweight champion. One user replied, asking Dustin a question about Ilya's dominance, saying, "Who in the lightweight division do you think provides the most problems for Topuria?" Dustin responded with humility and respect, saying, "That's a tough one, bro. He's shown no weakness, but styles make fights." Even though he's no longer in the octagon, you can feel the fighter's mindset still alive in him. Dustin's words show how deeply he still analyzes the sport he gave everything to. But then, another fan asked him something more personal. "How much do you miss it?" And this time, Dustin's response hit hard. He said, "Every day, the moment my eyes open. I've done it for 2 decades, dedicated my life to it. A part of me has died." Those words echo the reality so many fighters face when they hang up the gloves. For Dustin, fighting wasn't just a career. It was his entire identity. For over 20 years, he's lived and breathed competition. The highs, the pain, the victories, the losses, every moment shaped who he became. Now that it's over, the silence feels heavy. The adrenaline, the walkouts, the roar of the crowd, all gone. When Dustin says a part of him has died, you can feel the weight of those words. It's the end of a chapter for a true warrior. But even in retirement, Dustin Poirier's spirit continues to inspire. Moving on to another news, Alex Pereira has officially confirmed that he suffered a broken foot during his dominant win at UFC 320. After making quick work of his opponent Magomed Ankalaev, Alex admitted he felt something was wrong with his foot. And now it turns out his instincts were right. During a recent Q&A session with fans ahead of UFC Rio, the light heavyweight champion opened up about the injury and also spoke about his interest in competing at the highly anticipated UFC White House card. He revealed, "I did an X-ray in Las Vegas and an MRI here, and we have a fracture on my foot. But I still don't know what will happen or how long it will take for me to recover. I think it's good to focus on this White House event. It's something that interests me. I think I'll focus on this." From those words, it's clear that despite the injury, Alex's mindset remains sharp and focused. However, considering the recovery time needed for a fractured foot, it's very likely that fans won't see him back in action until next June. Just in time for that potential White House card scheduled for June 14th. That means nearly 9 months without seeing the feared striker inside the octagon. And that's going to be tough for fans who've been following his incredible run. During the same Q&A, Alex was asked about the possibility of fighting Jon Jones at that event. Calm and confident as always, he responded, "This is MMA. Those who know my work, I always say in my interviews that you either win or lose, but I'll do my best and prepare myself well to come out with the victory." It's that warrior mentality that's made Alex one of the most respected fighters in the sport today. Now, since UFC 320, footage has surfaced from Ankalaev's camp claiming that he broke his ribs 3 weeks before the fight. When asked about those reports, Alex didn't hold back. He said, "I can't know, but if it was already injured, it hurt even more with the elbows. You can't give excuses. I had 1,000 excuses to say, but waited to say them when we were about to fight again. They're already giving away excuses to maybe take away my merits. I don't know." And as if the speculation wasn't already heating up, Khamzat reportedly called out Alex for a potential fight. In a recent interview, Beneil Dariush weighed in, saying, "I'd actually like to see him go fight a big fight like the Jon Jones fight or something. He's 38, maybe considering retirement. I don't want him to get mauled by Khamzat. I really want to see Alex ride off into the sunset with a big fight and a big paycheck." When asked if he believed Khamzat could defeat Alex, Dariush didn't hesitate. "Absolutely," he said. "The way Khamzat wrestles is very different. He completely commits, turns the corner, gets on your back. Ankalaev doesn't have that kind of wrestling." So while Alex heals from his injury, the talk around his next opponent continues to grow. Whether it's Jon Jones, Khamzat, or someone else, one thing is certain: when Alex Pereira returns, the MMA world will be watching. Moving on to another news, Tom Aspinall has given some major respect to a former champion, admitting that Daniel Cormier in his prime would have been a total nightmare matchup for him. During a recent interview, Tom was asked if there's any fighter, current or retired, inside or outside the UFC, that he believes he would definitely lose to. Without hesitation, Tom smiled and said, Yeah. You know DC Daniel Cormier? Peak DC, yeah. He has the worst style for me ever. He went on to explain exactly why Cormier would be such a difficult opponent, saying, He's got a nasty style. He's short, he just keeps walking forward, constantly changing levels between grappling and punches. He can knock you out, he can take you down, and he's got cardio for days. For my style, he's a nightmare. You could tell by the way Tom spoke that he'd thought about this before, and that it wasn't just some random answer. He added, I've said this to his face as well. He's a nightmare for me. The interviewer was clearly impressed by how quickly Tom answered, and Tom admitted, Yeah, I've thought about it. I've watched a lot of DC's fights and always thought, man, he was a beast. Peak DC was unreal. Aspinall even broke down what made Cormier's striking so effective. The way he picks a leg and then swings, bro. He swings from way down here with his head tucked and somehow still catches you on the chin. And once he lands, you're gone. That's force. Tom also praised Cormier's world-class wrestling, saying, His wrestling is unbelievable. Fair play to him. The way he mixes it all together. The pressure, the timing, the power, it's just relentless. You could hear the genuine admiration in his voice as he talked about the former double champ. Even though Aspinall himself is one of the most talented heavyweights on the planet right now, with elite speed, footwork, and finishing ability, he's still humble enough to recognize greatness when he sees it. Cormier's blend of Olympic-level wrestling, heavy hands, and insane fight IQ truly made him one of the most complete fighters in MMA history. For Tom Aspinall to admit that DC's prime style would be a nightmare for him shows just how much respect he has for the legends who came before him. It's a moment of honesty and humility from a current champion who's still carving his own path to greatness. Moving on to another news. Charles Oliveira is already looking to get back inside the octagon after his impressive submission win over Mateusz Gamrot last night. The former lightweight champion looked sharp, calm, and focused as he reminded everyone why he's one of the most dangerous finishers in the sport. Following the victory, Charles reflected on the fight, expressing how grateful he was to return and how much it meant to perform in front of his home crowd in Brazil. He said, It didn't matter if it was going to be a knockout, a submission, or a decision. This win was for the Brazilian crowd. It's all for the people who support me. Charles went on to explain that many fans and friends were concerned about him coming back too soon, but he knew in his heart that he was ready. I just wanted to come back. I appreciate the people who felt that maybe I shouldn't, but I wanted to return. I talked to Diego and I wanted to fight as soon as possible. And you guys saw that I was right inside the octagon. Reflecting on the fight, Charles admitted he knew the first round would be tough. He's a good guy in the first round, he said. I trained with Demi and Maya, and Demian kept telling me during camp, don't rush. Don't hurry. In the first round, he took me down because I jumped for the guillotine. It wasn't the time. Oliveira explained that when he got to Gamrot's back, he decided to slow things down and conserve energy for the second round. Then, things shifted. After a few exchanges in the second round, I heard Makako say to me, Take him down. Now it's your time. And that's when I just did what I do best. Charles executed his plan perfectly, securing another highlight reel submission that sent the Brazilian crowd into a frenzy. After the fight, Oliveira made it clear that he's feeling great and has no injuries. I feel good. I have no injuries, so I want to come back as soon as possible. I'll take 1 week off and then return to training. I'll talk to Diego, and I know that one more big win will take me back to the title run. Charles Oliveira is hungry, healthy, and ready to make another run at gold. And judging by last night's performance, the lightweight division should be on notice. Moving on to another news, Paulo Costa and Jean Silva surprisingly crossed paths last night, and fans couldn't help but notice the unexpected encounter between the two. For those who might have missed it, there's been some heated back and forth between them recently on social media. It all started when Jean Silva openly said he didn't like Paulo and would be willing to fight him in the street if it ever came down to it. That comment quickly caught fire online, leading to a response from Costa, who laughed it off and said Silva was simply too small to be taken seriously. The tension between them had fans thinking things could get ugly if they ever met face to face. But when the two actually ran into each other last night, things took a very different turn. Instead of confrontation, both fighters appeared surprisingly calm and even friendly during their brief interaction. There was a bit of laughter, a handshake, and no sign of the hostility many were expecting. Crowds nearby started cheering and clapping as the two exchanged a few words, creating a lighthearted moment that no one saw coming. Even Costa, who's known for his playful and sometimes sarcastic personality online, seemed relaxed and in good spirits. Silva also appeared respectful, and the encounter ended without any drama. It's worth remembering that Costa has been in the headlines quite a bit lately, both for his online antics and his next potential fight talks, while Silva has been making waves as one of the most promising up-and-coming fighters in the division. Seeing them in the same place, exchanging smiles instead of punches, was definitely a surprise for MMA fans everywhere. In the end, it looks like whatever tension existed between Paulo Costa and Jean Silva has been squashed, at least for now. Whether this calm moment lasts or turns into something more later, one thing's certain, the MMA world never runs out of unexpected moments like this one. Moving on to another news. Max Holloway has officially responded to Charles Oliveira's recent call-out following UFC Rio. The Hawaiian superstar went live on Kick last night, and as expected, fans immediately filled the chat asking about Charles and the possibility of a rematch between the two. Max laughed as he read the comments and said, "I know, bro. I know, I see the chat. We know, bro. We heard the call-out. Tell him. Only time will tell now, bro." While reading through messages, Max admitted that the idea of fighting Charles again definitely excites him, but also mentioned that the rumored event location, the White House card, might be too far away. "That's so long to wait," he said. "It'd be such a long wait, you know what I mean? I ain't making no promises, though." You could tell from his tone that Max wasn't shutting the door on the fight, but was being realistic about the timing. He continued, "It'll be a fun one, though. Me and him, we've been talking about this fight for a while. We got history. He's blaming it on some type of injury from our first fight, so I guess we get to figure it out now, huh?" Max was referring to their meeting years ago when Charles suffered a neck injury that ended the bout early, something that's been talked about ever since. This potential rematch would give both men a chance to settle unfinished business once and for all. Max then gave fans a quick update on his current condition, explaining that his hand injury is healing up nicely. "My hand is good. Well, not good, but it's getting better," he said. "We're just waiting to get cleared. I haven't really got back on the mats yet, but I've been doing strength and conditioning, keeping the body right. We'll be back sooner than later." From the way Max spoke, it's clear he's in good spirits and already itching to return. A rematch with Charles Oliveira would be massive, a battle between two elite strikers who've evolved tremendously since their first meeting. Max Holloway is healing, Charles Oliveira is hungry, and if the timing lines up, this could be one of the biggest fights of next year. Move on to another news. Alex Pereira says he wishes his fight with Magomed Ankalaev had lasted longer, just so he could have slapped him in the face. After another dominant victory inside the octagon, Alex opened up to the media, revealing that while he was satisfied with his performance, there was still one thing missing: the slap he had promised before the fight. Alex explained that everything happened so fast once he landed that clean, powerful punch. The moment his fist connected, Ankalaev immediately went diving for his legs, trying to survive the onslaught. But Alex was locked in, focused, and determined to end it with authority. As he unleashed a series of brutal elbows, he could instantly tell the damage was done. He said the first elbow landed clean, and right after that he saw blood. That's when he knew it was over. He kept hammering down elbows until the referee had no choice but to step in and call it. Alex said the feeling was incredible, the kind of rush that comes from pure domination inside the cage. But even with such a powerful win, he admitted he felt a little disappointed that he didn't get the chance to fulfill his promise of slapping Ankalaev across the face. "I wanted to slap his face," Alex said, shaking his head with a smirk. "I promised it before the fight, but it ended too quickly. I didn't get that moment. Still, I'm happy with the result. It was clean, it was decisive, and I did what I came to do." For Alex, this wasn't just about another victory. It was about sending a message. He's shown once again why he's one of the most dangerous fighters in the world right now. Every strike he throws carries the kind of power that can end a fight in seconds. And even when he doesn't get to do exactly what he plans, the results still speak loud and clear. The Brazilian powerhouse continues to build his legacy with every performance. His focus, precision, and confidence make him one of the scariest men in the octagon today. Even when the fight ends faster than expected, Alex leaves a statement, one that echoes through the entire division.